So you know how you can take some credits coming from high school into
Yeah.
university? You took credits.
Yeah.
I didn't take many credits. I took credits for one course.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you regret it? Benefits, cons?
I had 32 credits from like high school.
Oh.
So that's a whole year of like, it's basically all of freshman year.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's good. I would advise anyone to take credits just because you're going straight into Cal 3, you're going straight into Cal 3. And one, it's really good because you're interacting with upperclassmen in your class.
Did you struggle with doing Cal 3?
I really like math, so no. And I did further math in high school, right? So a lot of what we did in Cal 3, I kind of already knew it, and it was like, it was easy to keep up with it. And the professors like Cal 2, Cal 3, Cal 4, they're like really, really good. And it's not as hard as you would think it is. So I would 100% recommend, if someone has the credits, go straight to Cal 3. Because you won't regret it, cashing in those credits. Just because later on, if you decide you want to do a minor, or you want to, do anything that any a research course, anything like that, you don't have to spend an extra semester in uni, because you already have the credits done. Things that small courses, not extremely more important, but extremely important, but things that don't specify to your your major. So because I've done all those classes before, I had the time in the future to kind of do other courses. I had the time to do a minor, and that really works in my favor. And also, because of all the credits I cashed in, I'm a sophomore technically, right? But because of the classes I've done in uni, but by credit hours, I'm a junior.
Oh.
And this is good for me because when you look at things like undergraduate research and a lot of the things that you need to be, eligible for, you need to be a junior, right? And technically by credits, I'm already a junior. So that works out well for me because I can apply for these things in sophomore year before, while everyone else is
right.
Doing that. So it's I get to start these things early, and that's a really good thing about cashing in your credits. You're taking the same amount of time to graduate as everyone else, but you also have more. You're very likely to have a whole year extra, to just do all these kind of things. So it's more freedom.
Right, and you mentioned you took further math.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't taken further math, do you think you would have struggled with Cal 3?
Not really, no. Cal 3 isn't. It's not that bad. I think it's quite easy.
Okay.
I think it's quite fun because it's also a class full of upperclassmen.
Right.
And when you join a freshman class, I think you probably notice this too, especially online. It's very awkward.
Yes.
Everyone's so quiet. Everyone's no one wants to do anything, and it's just awkward. But you go to a class, upperclassmen, they know each other. They're chill with the professor. It's a very different vibe.
Right.
Everyone's talking. People come with onesies with a shark on top. With cute onesies, and they have funny backgrounds and stuff. And it's much more chill. And the class might be harder, but you feel very in university. How was it for you though?
Okay, so I didn't take my credits. I had credits. I did A-levels, and I did have credits for math and chemistry. For math, I didn't take credits because I was terrified that because that's the thing, there isn't really any information about this. You don't know about this, and everybody I spoke to, they were all so divided. There were some people that were I knew this one freshman in my Cal 3 class who got an F and he failed, and that freaked me out. I mean, that's the first thing that I heard. So I was just no, I'm not going to take any credits for these courses. A lot of people say that one of the pluses of not taking credits is that it's an easy A.
Yeah.
So it helps your GPA in that sense. And to me, I didn't want to take the risk of having missed out on an important topic that would have been really important later on.
Yeah.
Because then you have to teach yourself the entire thing all over again. And that's what I was terrified of. And then going into Cal, there were actually a couple of things as well in A-level that are not covered.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in Cal 3 we spoke about things like limits and things that we didn't do in A-levels. But things like that, it's you kind of weigh the benefits and the cons, right?
Exactly.
But I mean, it was a very small topic it took me like 20 minutes on the internet to figure it out. You know?
Right.
So it's all about are you the type of person who's willing to work on your own? You know?
Yes, I was terrified of that because I had no idea. I had no idea what to expect, like, because you've never taken a university class before. And things in high school versus university are completely different.
Yeah.
Right? And then the reason that I was also really scared to do this course, and then like when I got into Cal 1, there was a lot of content that we covered, not a lot, but like a decent amount that I hadn't done in A-level before. So that kind of made me even more sure. I was like, yes, okay, I'm glad I didn't take credits for this because I didn't know this stuff, and what if it comes on later?
Yeah.
So that was the thing. And then like, but then you have Cal 2, and like towards the end you do these things on sequences, which I really don't know if it's going to come up.
It's not.
Later on.
You're not going to do sequences in Cal 2
Exactly.
Cal 3 and 4.
And that was the thing that I really, really struggled with.
Okay.
And then the other side of that is chemistry. I loved chemistry. I mean, you know,
you were always talking about that.
Yeah, I love chemistry, right? So I didn't take credits for Chem 1. I loved the course. It was so much fun. I loved the professor. He was such an amazing professor. And I did really well in that course. Because I'd already done that before. I know where this is going. Chem 2 came along. And then the spring semester was a lot more hectic for me. I had subjects like physics and engineering that I genuinely really struggled with. I don't like physics. Like, I really don't. And so I really struggled with that. And then I kind of found that chemistry was something that I understood all the topics and all the concepts. So why, but then like you still have to revise all those things.
Yeah.
To do a midterm or something, you still have to revise them. You can't just turn up and be like, oh, okay. You know? So what happened is that I decided I was going to take credits for chemistry so that I would have more time to spend on physics and other subjects which I wasn't as good at.
Right.
So I took credits for that, and honestly it made such a huge difference. I had so much more time.
Yeah.
I was one course
my
off
God.
and I had so much more time.
Like I would just see you in the library. You were always working. So you were always in the library. And you had like books and you had like piles and you were like frantically writing. I couldn't even pull you away. Like, you know how I could like kind of like show her, okay, let's go like get some food. But I could not pull you away. And then you dropped it. And you dropped like Chem. And all of a sudden, like, well, that had nothing to do. You had so much time. And it was kind of really like, it was amazing.
See, here's the thing. I dropped chemistry so I'd have more time to study physics. Did I study physics?
No.
The thing is, it's so difficult to study something that you don't really enjoy. But at the same time, it's really important to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
And like something you already studied before. Like that happened to me in Cal 4. Like the first few chapters I had done like fully in like word math. Right? So I really told myself, I was like, I wrote notes, I paid attention, but I told myself when the midterm came up, I was like, you know, it's fine. I don't need to study that much. The midterm came up, I did the midterm. Oops. I did so incredibly bad. I got my first C in college.
Oh.
And that was like terrifying because I was like an A student in like high school and like the first semester. And then I got my first C and I was like kind of heartbroken. And then I kind of kept like telling myself, you do not know this. Like the way to go through uni, at least for a person like me, to like convince yourself you don't know this, so you need to study it. And then I kind of studied it, and then I started getting like good grades, and I passed the class with an A. You know, so it kind of like just like your chem thing, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you know it, and because you know it, you don't want to study.
You don't want to study it because
you know?
you feel like, oh, you know, I'm wasting my time if I'm studying something that I already know. But do you really know it as well as you think you know it? You don't. Not all the time, at least.
And I also think that's like the cool thing about uni. You have this freedom that you can. You drop this class halfway through the semester.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
And like you had like there was nothing wrong with that. It didn't affect you in like any way.
See, the thing is, I feel like I should have probably taken the credits for it at the beginning so that I could have taken up another course, like an elective. Or something. Because you know, there's a certain amount of electives that you need to do. And I would much rather have done an elective, and I didn't get that chance to do that because it was too late in the semester for me to take up another class. But I mean, I feel like it had gotten to the point where I did need to drop it.
Yeah.
And since I had the option, I was like, you know what, why not?
So like the conclusion is, like cash in all your credits if you can, or if you're confident enough, and like do as much electives as you can freshman year.
Yes.
Because you're not gonna have time after that.
That's true. I also feel like I did have a couple of people who had credits but didn't take those credits because they felt like when they did the course in university, they understood the subject so much better. So I guess weigh it up. You can always talk to
Yeah.
upperclassmen, and that's important. Talk to upperclassmen.
Oh my
Honestly.
god.
That is, I cannot stress that enough.
But also talk the right upperclassmen.
Talk to the right.
Because, like, you know, freshman orientation, like, I asked them, I was like, I want to take Cal 3. Do you think I should? And there were, like, some people were just like, don't even think about it. And
You'll
then
get
some
an
people,
F.
yeah, they were like, you're not going to do it, it's not going to work
Yeah.
hard, don't do it. And there were also some people who were just like, yeah, go for it. So, like, you want to ask, universities is a wide, like, spectrum of people.
I would say talk
You know?
to people.
Yeah.
Get to know them, and then like
Yeah.
if you feel like your personalities match,
Yeah.
what worked for them might
Yeah.
just work. For
Yeah, you want to find someone who's just like, kind of like, just like
Exactly.
you, and do what they do. You know?
Yeah.
Oddly enough. But
Uh-huh.
just for anyone, like any freshmen who want to go to Tamakyu, Cal 3 isn't that hard. You can totally do it. It's not that bad. You guys are doing this next semester. You can totally do
Yeah.
Cal 3.
True.